This conference will now be recorded.
All right, everybody, good evening. Happy Wednesday, hump day. See several of your smiling faces that you made it through another Wednesday and you're ready for a cram session. I appreciate you guys taking the time to further our profession as professionals in the HR world, and it's ever changing. In local government myself, we started talking about a hurricane or a tropical storm today in the Emergency Management Center, and I don't know. The good news is in St. Lucie County, yesterday it was coming right at us, which is perfect on the first day because it doesn't make it our way if that happens. So I got my fingers crossed it's going the other way, but we'll see how that goes. All right, welcome everybody. My name is Doug Baber. I'm the Certification Director for HR Florida. I'm also the Human Resources and Risk Management Director for St. Lucie County and over here on the Treasure Coast. If there's ever anything you can do down the road, you want to reach out to me and you need some help with anything or something I can point you in the right direction, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm hoping through these groups we make some good collaborations between the people that are studying and then the people that study and run into each other at HR Florida. And we have friends forever and bonds, and who knows what happens from that point forward. But I think when you get a group this size together and you guys start getting a little camaraderie and you run into each other later, good things will happen. So we only have an hour, so we'll keep it moving. I do want to take a few minutes to introduce our guest instructor today. So last week we had Marty. She was the Vice President of HR Florida. The week before we had HD. She's the President of HR Florida. So we're trying to go through the Executive Council here. And this week we are honored to have our treasurer. We have John here. He is our treasurer and he's also part in Orlando there, right? I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about himself, but he is SHRM-CP and PHR certified. And he's led some classes like this himself. He's told me in the past, and it's one of the reasons that he got involved in HR Florida. But I won't steal any more of your comments there. John, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself and let the cat out of the bag here.
Thank you, sir. And welcome, everybody. Appreciate your attendance at this. This is very important to the profession and to you as a professional, so I'm really good to see so many people on here tonight. Again, my name is John Kinloch, and I am the treasurer for the HR Florida State Council. I have been involved with the HR Florida State Council as a district director for 5 years, and I also was the registrar for the conference team last year, in addition to basically at the local level being everything you could imagine up to including president. I've been involved since about 2000. When I moved to Florida, and the primary reason that I got involved was I was looking to be certified. And back then, they made you go to, I think it was UCF, and take a test and fill out bubble sheets and wait for like 8 weeks to get your results back. So we've come a long way since then, as they say. Yes, I have taught these classes in the past, mostly because I'm the employment supervisor for the state. I tend to gravitate towards the employment topics, employment law, employment relations. And I also actually, believe it or not, like the technology management piece because my first management job in HR was an HRIS type job. So, oh, by the way, I was going to warn you, but he just did. He heard me talking. So everybody say hello to Kodak. He may make photo bombs or zooming bombs or whatever during the course of this meeting.
Well, we got that disclaimer out of the way there.
Yeah.
So the way the course goes, if you haven't been involved in one of these in the past, you can either speak out if you think you know the answer, you like to speak about it, or a lot of people last week that worked really cool was putting in the chat box, so we would read an answer and everybody would kind of put B or D or C, and we kind of talk through that a little bit, and then that gives John an opportunity to kind of chime in, and if he sees several of the answers popping up and maybe a reason why that he thinks that people are looking that way, it gives myself or John an opportunity to kind of comment on that and kind of keep the ball rolling so it's not boring for everybody. If you got any good jokes, feel free to pass those on, and then we'll kind of keep going. So tonight's the first, we're still on the business section, and we're under strategic alignment and assessment of resources. We have that, and then we move into the consultation, and then we have a couple more lined up, so we'll see how far we get. But supposedly we should do pretty well. This one's got 7 questions in it. It's our first question, and I'll go ahead and get started unless anybody's got any questions. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, so everybody got the screens up there? All right, I see some heads nodding. Strategic alignment. What forms of budgeting uses the prior year's budget as a basis for the next budget? Incremental budgeting, zero-based budgeting, formula budgeting, and activity-based budgeting. One thing that I remember is when you were taking the test, you could cross out some of the questions that you didn't like, so you could immediately go through the ones that you didn't think the answer was, and then you could go ahead and narrow it down a little easier. So if that makes it better for you for some of them, the test taking system allows you to do that. If you have the software, the learning software, you can actually go into the software and you can practice and do it in that same format that you would on the day of the test. All right, we got a couple A's coming out of the hat with incremental budgeting. So you're using the prior year's budget as a basis for next year's budget. Couple A's. John, you got any input you think you'd like to add?
This one I'm going to hold off on because I think I know the answer, but I don't want to embarrass myself right out the box.
Right out of the gates there, you know. So if it's zero-based, that means you have to identify every piece of your budget, and you start with zero. You agree to how many people it's going to take and how many things it's going to take, so you can eliminate that one. The incremental budgeting is a hot answer. Let's see, we got 3 A's over there for that one. Let's go ahead and give that one a shot right out of the gates. We got some consensus in there. All right, nice job, folks. Next question. An HR specialist prepares a business case to support the initiative. The case includes descriptions of the project's goals, benefits, methods, budgets, and timeline. Which information is required to complete the business case? Endorsements of the organization's stakeholders, detailed description of the methodology that is used, analysis of the initiatives of possible risks, communication plan the project team will use. The case includes description of the project's goals, benefits, method, budget, and timeline. Got some crickets there. Spring, you got an idea? I see in there. So to me, I see endorsements of organization and stakeholders. Anybody remember my rule about stakeholders? There we go. All right, so rationale of the business case should include some discussion of the possible risk and approaches to the management team. Detailed description of the plans are not appropriate for this audience. All right. Good thing I'm not taking the test. What financial document lists the revenues, expenses, and profits for an organization for a designated period of time? Accounting entries, income statement, financial statement, or balance sheet? Revenue, expenses, and profits of the organization. All right, we got a couple variations of the answers. Anybody got something they want to break it down for us? Nope. I see a B and a C. Income statement or financial statement. Anybody want to rule one of those out, or why you want to pick one of those two? I got another C, and a D. So we're all over the place here. So why would an income statement show revenue and expenses? So anybody think that B is out of it? C is made up of B and D. Financial statement. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a lot of C's. Let's go C. The B's have it. The income statement shows revenue, expenses, and profit for organization. All right. Stakeholders, shareholders. All right. Got to get it together here, guys. We can retake this if we have to. Small company in the startup phase of organizational life cycle. The owner has been hiring talent and compensating employees at high levels, but not offering benefits package. As the organization grows, it is more employees are hired. The owner is being pressured to implement the benefits package in addition to direct compensation. The owner is not knowledgeable about benefits and has made the decision to hire an HR generalist to handle the benefits and other HR functions. The HR generalist's first priority is to make recommendations about the benefits package that will attract and retain top talent while being fiscally responsible. The growth plan for the organization is to grow globally and engage in global recruitment, selection, and hiring strategy. The HR generalist needs to create a total compensation package that will be relevant to all locations globally. The HR generalist is charged with recommending a benefits package that will attract and retain talent. How should he begin the process? Contract a third-party benefits administration company to identify and implement a benefits package. Gather data according to needs assessment to identify what benefits are needed to match them to the overall organizational strategy. Survey all employees in the company and based on the responses, implement and secure benefits plans to meet the majority needs. Set up an employee task force, groups to develop outlines of the employee benefit plans the most desired by the workforce. So they hired the generalist to recommend a benefits package. Is he going to outsource it?
I would not think so.
I see these. Gather data to meet the assessment to identify what needs are needed to match them to the overall organizational strategy. I like that. Task force on D. Anybody think D? B. A lot of B's.
I would say B. The B. B for sure, because I was reading something that says you need to identify the needs first. So that's why I would go with B.
All right, I like it. I like the chatter. B, we're on a roll, one in a row. Nice job. B is the best answer. All the others were incorrect. The HR generalist has conducted an employee survey asking questions about the types of benefits employees want. The survey results indicate that the employees are seeking ways to balance their work life and their home life. How should the HR generalist handle this feedback? Review external surveys to determine the types of work-life benefits other organizations offer. Because this is an internal survey, no one is expecting any action to be taken, but the company to solicit input. Recognize these types of benefits are appreciated by employees, but a growing organization cannot afford them. Align offered benefits with the organizational strategy, culture, and employee desires. So he's doing a survey for no reason. Think that's the right one? No. Oh, I like that. Yes, some countries provide benefits. All right. I see several of the D's align the offered benefits with the organization's strategy, culture, and employee desires. I think that's pretty good. Ready? All right. All right. We're crushing it now. Question 6 out of 7. The new employee is hired who is not married but has a domestic partner. Currently, the organization's health insurance covers spouses but not domestic partners. The new employee has requested that the partner be covered through the organization's health insurance. How should the HR generalist handle the request? Audit the current policy for fairness and present the business case to the owner to change the rule. Allow the employee to add a domestic partner to the health insurance. Enroll the partner as a spouse.
No.
Contact the insurance company and change the policy to allow domestic partners to be covered. Tell the employee to contact the insurance company since HR can't do anything about it. So, audit for fairness. Contact the insurance company. It's not an easy change. I see an A coming out of the gates there. I want to see if there's other people. I'm in the process of starting up a dependent audit myself. Hey, the A's got it. Anybody got something different we want to go on? Audit, survey. John, you like it?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Definitely.
There you go. You got to see what's out there before you figure out what you're going to say. All right, last question. The benefits package was implemented 12 months ago, and the HR generalist has asked the owner to provide feedback regarding the success of the package. What is the first step in providing this feedback? Compare the rate of turnover this year to prior years. Conduct a gap analysis and utilization review. Tell the owner that it's too soon to provide feedback. It's got to be 3 years. Mm-hmm. Conduct a survey of the employees to obtain feedback on the benefits package.
I definitely think the owner should be told no feedback is needed at this time. Yeah. That's good. That's really good for job security, I think.
Yeah, if I don't have 3 years, I can't make an honest assessment. So, I would think that, if you had a really good turnover and everybody's staying because of that, that would be a good one. But, if you ask the surveys what they think, maybe you get the answer you don't want to get if you ask the employees, but Probably best to figure out if they like it or not. I like D. I see some D's over there.
I find people being afraid of surveys that I think, to be honest with you, if you're looking at a retention issue as well, you could ask questions in such a way that would ask, like what attracted you initially as far as benefits? What would you consider keeping you here long term as far as benefits? You could get a lot of interesting material to work with. And we've done that at the city where I'm at, trying to get a feel for ultimately retention, because benefits, obviously, as a full compensation strategy, is very important nowadays.
I agree. Exit interviews tell a lot too. Conduct a survey. I'm going to go with, ooh, is that somebody got a B in there? Unless they were anonymous surveys. Very good answer. Nobody likes to say what they mean if they think they're going to get fired for saying it. So I got D and I've got a B in there. Conduct a gap analysis. That's not bad either. Uh-oh. We're stuck. B or D? This is one of those where I changed my thought pattern and I like B now.
Too long to be wrong. Go with D.
D? All right.
Ah! Sorry.
It was B. B is the best answer. D it says no.
Said wrong.
57%. You want to take it again or come back to it? Anybody? Come back. I like it.
Everybody's hiding.
It's all right. They wake up about 6:30. All right. Keep moving, she says. All right, we're going to move on to the next topic, consultation. Consulting process. All right. 6 questions. Sales has made an unrealistic commitment to the customer. In order to meet the commitment, the CEO suggests that all salaried employees work 10-hour days, 6 days a week for one minimum of 1 year. How should HR respond? By supporting the CEO's decision, but suggesting that the sales not promise so much in the future. By implementing a schedule and rewarding those people who go the extra mile. By finding another alternative that will not take advantage of employees, but will meet sales and customer needs. By implementing a schedule, but disassociating themselves from it. So this, I don't think it's D. We're going to leave that one out. I'm not working 6/10s. You guys can. All right, we're looking at some questions. C. Find another alternative that will not take advantage of employees but meet the sales and customer needs. All right. All right, C is. If everybody's got their microphone on, it doesn't need to have it on, just press mute for me. All right, C, we're on a roll. Nice job, team. How can HR best partner with managers to implement a newly developed performance management tool? Use input from the managers to create the best practices guide and meet with them individually to offer support or questions or answer questions. Opt to fill out the forms for managers the first time so that they can review HR's work and see how they should be completed. Require managers to fill out the new evaluation forms and then submit them to HR to be checked before reviewing with the employees. Have the CEO clarify to managers the consequences if they fail to complete employee evaluations in a timely manner. Fired. All right, so the input from the managers, use the input from the managers to best create the guide that meet with them individually to support or answer questions. Anybody like A? You train them how to do it? I see several A's. There we go. All right. Which should be the first step in solving the organization's problems with a sharp increase in back orders of shipments. Develop a soft skills training program, performing a process analysis, instituting a job rotation program, or recruiting additional skilled employees. Sharp increase in back orders. Got to get it out. You bring in extra help? Oh, I see. Is that A for this one or for the last one? I don't remember. So recruiting additional help. I don't think it's A, right? It's got to be D.
No.
I see D. There we go. D. Recruiting additional help. I like it. Everybody? So, oh, shit. Performing a process analysis. All right. Maybe we need to repurpose some people.
I think I was thinking it was B in my head because going back to the needs assessment, if you perform the process analysis, you're figuring out what needs to be done to improve, right? Before just hiring, I guess. So I can see
Yeah, what are
why
you
it
gonna do
might
to people?
be
I guess what are you gonna do to people you hire, right? If you don't need them to keep up. I appreciate that. Understand why the problem occurs. There you go. Needs analysis. So, all right. So the next questions here for the next three. To attract talented university students, the public accounting firm offers an internship program to students who have completed 75% of their coursework. If a student is successful during the internship, the firm offers the student a position after graduation and provides them opportunities for the student to study for the industry licensure exam. The firm pays for the exam and provides additional compensation once the student successfully completes the exam. For the past several years, the firm has seen an increase in the rate of turnover among newly licensed employees. While it is common for the industry for employees to leave the public accounting after they are licensed, the firm is losing many of its licensed employees to competitors. The high rate of turnover is negatively affecting their firm's performance. The HR manager has been charged with reducing the number of employees leaving for competitive firms as quickly and efficiently as possible. Which action should the HR manager take to identify reasons the employees are leaving for competition? Review the exit interview. I like that. Feedback from the employees who left to work for the competitors. Contact competitors' firms' HR directors to request information on their compensation and benefits. Good luck. Purchase and analyze industry survey results to learn about the compensation and benefits offered from competitor firms. Contact employees who left for competitor firms to gain information about the reasons they left after they're already gone. So anybody like A or feedback, or call them up? And I don't think you're going to get anything out of them if they're gone, except for something bad. Between A and C, so C might be purchase and analyze industry survey results to learn about the competition and benefits offered by competitor firms. Throw money at it. All right. A, another A. I like A.
Yeah, exit interview.
Let's do it. You already got that available. There we go. Next question. The accounting firm's leadership team requests information on the reasons employees stay. What should the HR manager do to respond to the leadership team's request? Conduct a focus group with random sample of employees to find out reasons they stay with the organization. Ask supervisors to identify what they do to encourage employees in their departments to stay. Contact HR directors in the accounting firms to learn the reasons their employees stay. Conduct an anonymous online survey and ask employees to identify the reasons they stay. So I like the ask part. I like the word ask. So they're trying to research a little bit. I see some D's. Conduct an anonymous survey. Maybe. I mean, the supervisor's the one that turned them over. You think they're going to say it's my fault? I don't know. That's another thing out there. Focus group. Anybody like A? I see a bunch of D's coming here. Anonymous survey that asks employees to identify reasons why they stay. D.
I can go either way on this, A or D. A can be very helpful, but I don't know.
D. Anonymous survey. I see a lot of that. Well, I see a lot of A's here again. A's and D's. Focus group. D. I don't know. Looks like a lot of focus groups. There we go. Sorry. It was not D. What should the HR manager do to get buy-in from the accounting firm's leadership team to implement employee retention initiatives? Explain to the leadership team that full support is necessary to reduce turnover. I like it. Describe to leaders the expected return on investment associated with implementing the retention initiatives. Create a business case that supports how the retention initiatives will reduce turnover. Ask leaders to identify retention initiatives they would like to see implemented. I like that. So the HR manager needs to get buy-in from the leadership. So if I not what they want, then you're going to sell it back. So I see a creative business case, and I also see D, C's and D's. Ask the leaders to identify the retention initiatives they would like to see implemented. Describe to the leaders expected return on investment associated with return initiatives. C, I see A's. I got a little bit of everything, guys. Anybody feel strongly about one of these? Speak out. C. See a lot of C's. I like it. I can't speak against A, though. I kind of like A. All right. C, all right. Nice job, team. I was just kidding on A. Finish. All right. Did a little bit better that time. Change management. All right, an HR consultant wants to recommend implementing a quality-oriented strategy that will increase revenue for the organization. Which would be the first step to implementing a strategy? Gain management commitment to necessary investments and changes. Develop a reward system that is aligned with quality results. Train work units in the new quality assurance procedures. Implement quality assurance practices in all parts of the company. So what is the problem? What is the first step to implementing the strategy for quality-oriented strategy? So they must not be getting, I think maybe they're getting good quality stuff out of them. Quality assurance procedures. Yeah, you got to train them up, right? Anybody else like C? Ooh, I thought C, C, A. Gain management commitment to necessary investments and changes. I don't know that you do that before you get C. I think you got to show them what they're doing wrong. C. Everybody good with C? No? Oh, now I got a D. Perfect. I should have hit C first. Implement quality assurance practices in all parts of the company. Maybe they don't have those. So I got to guess. Nobody said B.
You can go with C, but I think it's A because there's Silo 7 principles where it says you need to gain management buy-in before really presenting or implementing. I don't know, before implementing anything. So I think you would do A before you would do C. So you would gain the commitment and the buy-in, and then you would train the units on the procedures. I don't know.
All right, so you're going with the fact that the consultant wants to recommend implementing a strategy, but he needs to make sure that management likes it first. I like that thought process.
Yeah.
Right. Nice job. Way to talk us out of an answer. What approach should help the change process go more smoothly? Having representatives from senior management announce the change. Telling employees that the change is critical to the organization's survival. Ensuring that employees have input into the change alternatives. Assigning HR lead responsibility for the change initiative. What approach would help the change process go smoothly? Having the boss down there on the line working, maybe?
Yeah.
HR lead responsibility for the change initiative. And there it goes, good. Assigning representatives to senior management to announce the change. What do you like? Telling employees. Ensuring that the employees have input into the change alternatives. That's good. That's always really good. You get the employees.
That's one I like.
C. I see a couple C's. Looks like we're liking C. Anybody want to talk me out of it? Not this time. All right. Nice job. The manager has discussed the need to increase team output, identified and needed performance levels, and planned to acquire necessary technology, develop new processes, and train HR staff. What else does the manager need to do? Prepare an alternative course of action if there is resistance to the change, develop a rationale for the change in early communications with senior management, build commitment within the team to the changes and reinforce it regularly, implement the plan, and then monitor its control and its implementation. Prepare an alternative course of action if there is resistance to change. Adjust, fire. You discussed the need to increase the team output. So that's the problem, right? Improve performance levels. Anybody like build commitment within the team to the changes and reinforce it regularly? Anybody like C? No. I see a C and a D and a B now. Perfect. Build commitment within the team to the changes and reinforce it regularly, or implement the plan and then monitor, control its implementation. Still think it's C, but I can be talked out of it. Anyone? Prepare an alternative course of action if there is resistance to the change. Somebody says A, right? Did anybody say A? Good, nobody said A. All right, C it is. I was nervous on that one. All right, the next 4 questions. The CEO of a small company has decided that the organization needs to embrace a model of corporate social responsibility. Despite the formal strategy not being in place, the organization has been using the principles of the CSR in certain circumstances. The CEO wants the HR manager to lead in corporate change. This change involves mindset planning and helping everyone embrace the change. HR is not viewed as a true partner in the organization currently, so it will be a challenge. The CEO is seeking to create a company known for treating people well, operating in a sustainable manner, and giving worthy causes. This change will be noticeable in some departments than others. Because of this, the CEO would like to start with a word-of-mouth campaign prior to the large company-wide announcement. The CEO wants the HR manager to put together the plan within 2 to 4 weeks that creates this low-key way to work toward the CSR culture of the organization. HR and the CEO discuss that it will be a long-term process for change to be fully implemented. The CEO understands this, but wants to plan no later than 1 month from the meeting. Take your time, but hurry up, he said. What action should the HR manager take first to begin creating a culture to embrace CSR? A, partner with the heads of each department of the organization to review their current practices around CSR. Send an email to the company asking for input and then form committees to discuss this. Spend time visiting other companies with an integrated CSR culture, using this as a basis for the plan. Since it's a very little time, independently change the culture so that it embraces CSR. All right, good luck. All right, so D's out, right? Everybody D's out. Sneaking in on them, do that. I like you find the partner, the heads of the department, so you get their buy-in. They spread it around. I like A. You don't got time to go around to other companies, right?
No.
No.
A. All right. I see a lot of A's. Perfect. Moving on. Nailed it, guys. What action should the HR manager take to influence the CEO about the difficulty in meeting the timeline? Oh, yeah, there you go. Wait until closer to the end of the timeline to see if there's any issues with meeting it. Complete as much as possible to show a good effort, and then renegotiate the timeline. Implement a rewards and income incentive approach. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the first one. Implement a rewards and incentive approach to motivate the team to get the project done on time. Meet with the CEO to review essential portions of the project and the timeline challenges. So I'm always one of those ones that tells his boss, hey, it's going to take a little bit longer than we thought, instead of waiting until the very end and try to ask for forgiveness. Implement a rewards incentive approach to motivate the team to get the project done on time. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think I don't know, I like D, but see a lot of D's there. There we go. Keep it moving. What action should the HR manager take to encourage employees to embrace this cultural change? Have a company-wide meeting, explain why the changes are necessary. Meet with the managers and instruct them to meet with their reports. Provide value-based change management workshops that actively involve employees. Change the terminology being used to reflect the cultural shift. So, I don't know, you can't just go top down, right? I don't think it's B. C talks about value change management workshops to actively involve employees. That kind of talks them into doing it. I like that. Anybody like C? There's one C so far. If you get the employees involved in it, I think that helps you move faster. You get buy-in. They talk about how much fun they're having with their buddies. Anybody else like C? Talk me out of it. I don't know who else is picked here. I don't know. I think I see John nodding his head. He bought it. Right. Nice job, guys. What action should the HR manager recommend to measure the acceptance of the new culture after it's announced and implemented? Have spontaneous conversations with employees to see how they feel about recent changes. Use both process and outcome evaluations to determine the effectiveness of the program. Measure employee attrition rates and see if there's an increase in employee departures after the changes. Solely rely on the feedback from the heads of each department to determine the effectiveness of the change. Yeah, they're going to tell you. So it's not D. We can rule that one out, right? Strike through that one. Spontaneous conversations to see how they feel, just kind of asking them up. Remember, you're still on a timeline. He wants it done in 4 weeks, right? Is this the one? Yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. Use both processes and outcomes evaluations to determine the effectiveness of the program. What's wrong with that? B sounds good. Got B's up there? A couple B's? All right, B it is. All right. Crush that one, guys. Stop now. All right, moving on. Nice job. So critical evaluation toward better business decisions. Still mad about that 57% we got. Stakeholders got me. All right, what action best illustrates the use of evidence-based decision-making in HR? A director bases promotion decisions on the recommendations of trusted staff. HR documents and educates all staff about standard operating procedures. Staff performs a regression analysis to identify likely factors for success in candidate profiles. Staff participates in monthly lunches to discuss recent studies on journals on organizational performance. Best illustrates the use of evidence-based decision-making in HR. So B, HR documents and educates all staff about standard operating procedures. I'm telling you right there, man. Somebody likes B, anybody likes C? Staff performs regression analysis to identify likely factors for success of candidate profiles. I don't know. Toward better business decisions. B, C, got a couple C's, couple B's. I can be talked into C. I just don't think they're doing that. Monthly luncheons is fluff. A's out. B or C? See, I got even number B's and C's here. Spring, give me a B or a C. What do you got? C. Nice job. Thank you. I didn't want to miss one right out of the gate. Nice job. The C's have it. The best example is evidence-based decision making. All right. I don't see him doing that. What is a practical way to develop the credibility of HR staff as data advocates? Hire HR staff with more advanced degrees. Ensure that the results of the HR activities are measured. Describe the major HR and organizational psychology journals. Send HR representative to meetings and other functions to discuss the HR's role. All right. Join your local chapter. Practical way to develop HR credibility of HR staff as data advocates. Ensure the results of the HR initiatives are measured. I like
Measurements.
that. I don't think the journals are going to help. All right.
The psychological journals are definitely not it.
All right, we got a lot of B's. There's a lot of confidence. B's. All right, nice job. The B's have it. The HR team has mined the ERP database and for data related to implementation of the performance management system. What step must they complete before proceeding to the analysis of the data? Acquisition, assessment, aggregation, application. They've already mined the data. Anybody got an answer? I think those are still B's from last time. So they're going to have to figure out what the data means, right?
Mm-hmm.
What step is complete before proceeding to the analysis? So before they've got it, they've got to organize it, aggregate it. I don't know. Anybody got an answer? I see a B. Is that a B from this time or last time? I'm not sure. Assess your data before you analyze it. It's not bad. Oh, shit. I knew that. All right. I'm going to pretend like I knew that answer. That's
Too
acquired.
many A words. Too many A words.
All right, scenario. A company has 4 full-time sales associates who receive a base salary, a 10% commission on new sales to existing clients, and 30% commission on new sales to new clients. One sales employee has existing established territory. The clients were established prior to the salesperson's employment, and the sales to these clients are strong and consistent, providing an excellent income for the employee. The employee makes no effort for new sales due to the satisfaction of the current income level. The other 3 sales associates employees are all in new territories and work hard to make sales. Their income levels are lower than that of the first sales employee. Management believes that the current sales compensation structure is unfair and that the first sales employee is overpaid in comparison to the others. Additionally, the current structure does not provide any incentive for the first sales employees to attain new clients. Management has requested the HR director to reduce the first sales employee's compensation to be consistent with that of the other 3 sales employees. What action should the HR director take regarding the compensation structure? A. Explain to management as changing the current system that can impact morale and employees might leave. Talk to the sales employees to ask their opinion on the current system. Compare the current structure to the organizational strategy to evaluate alignment. Conduct an assessment of the current compensation system to determine if it meets the needs of the employees. So, do you stick up for the employees and say we're going to lose them if we don't do it? I've got a better plan. I like that. Talk to the employees about their opinion on the system. Johnny's making way too much money. It's not fair. Compare the current structure to the organizational strategy to evaluate the alignment. Conduct an assessment of the current compensation system to determine if it meets the needs of employees. Anybody like D? C's? I see C's. I see D for sure. Faux show. Needs assessment. I like that. C, I got a couple C's in here. Compare the current structure to the organizational strategy to evaluate the alignment. Somebody can talk me out of D. John, what do you got?
I always like alignment, to be honest with you, because if you're aligned, with the organizational strategy, then there's that business case that you can make that says we're doing this because of our strategy, and there's that emphasis on alignment. Now, the person that's been there for a while that inherited, they obviously, that probably wasn't a good thing to do from the beginning, but the question becomes, how do you incentivize a person to do more when they're getting paid good money? It's very troubling at times for that. So if you say your strategy has changed, then you can explain it at least to say, hey, it's not because you were making too much money and you literally aren't doing enough work, or the people that weren't making as much money are complaining that you're making too much money. You can tie it to organizational strategy and take the people, you and me, kind of out of it. I don't know. I just try to avoid conflict when it comes to these type of things.
Not me, man. I blow it up, man. I did that to code enforcement. Code enforcement. I blow it up, man. We split it around. You're not writing enough tickets.
I hear you.
All right, I'm going to go with the guest instructor.
I hope I'm right.
Bravo. That's why you've been there so long. All right, the company, let's see, same company. What action should the HR director take to make sure that the sales compensation structure is internally and externally equitable? Use the valid external wage information and the organization strategy to develop a structure that compensates employees for performance. Contact other organizations in the same demographic region to ask about their salary structure for sales employees. Purchase 3 external wage surveys and ask management and make employees decide what is equitable. Use external wage information to recommend a commission-only compensation structure that is aligned with industry standards. This is where tip sharing started in the service industry. Conduct other organizations in the same geographic region, contact them and find out their salary structure for sales employees. I don't like all these external wage information. I don't work in the world of tips or I don't compensation. So I'm looking for some answers. I see a couple A's and some no, is that A and B's. Oh, there's a D. So that's both 2 of them with the wage information, and then A, B, or D. Contact other organizations in this geographic region to see what their sales structure for employees. So we're trying to find out if their compensation structure is internally and externally equitable. Anybody got any better answers over there? B won't work. They will lie. They always lie. A or D. External wage information to recommend a commission-only compensation structure that is aligned with industry standards. It's not bad. So as soon as I put D, you guys put A. All right. All right. Use valid external wage information and organization strategy to develop a structure that compensates employees for performance. I'm going to go A. I just feel like it's right. Anybody? Jason still on here? There he is. What do you think, Jason?
I'm choosing D, I think.
We got a lot of choices, man.
Specific reason why.
Contact organizations. All right. Jason pulled me out of a hole once before. Ah, damn it, Jason. A is the best answer. Uses external information along with organizational strategy that is transparent for all employees so they will understand how their performance will affect their compensation. I like tip pooling. What action should the HR director take if the management is interested in exploring other compensation systems? All right. Hire a compensation consultant and design a number of different systems for the management to choose from. Analyze, evaluate, and price the jobs to compare how various compensation systems align with the organization's strategy. Explain what the difference is between the salary structure and the commission structure and recommend that the structure be changed to commission only. Contact an outside vendor that specializes in compensation structures to have someone speak to management about various systems. Give them some options, huh? B, that's using all the $5 words at the same time. Analyze, evaluate, price the jobs, and compare how various compensation systems align with the organization's strategy. I always like that better than spending 50 grand on a consultant.
Sounds like a bullet item on my resume.
I do that 40% of the day right there. B, I got B's. All right. We're on a roll. Management recommends the first sales employee be straight salary since the employee is not generating new sales from new clients. What action should the HR director take to address this recommendation? Ignore the request and hope the management forgets about the recommendation. That's it right there. Do I need to read the rest of them? Agree with the management and change the employee to straight salary. Explain how it might make the employee feel to be singled out and engaged. Share an analysis of the benefit of commission structure aligned with business goals.
It's D.
And you go to the guy and you be like, look, they're going to take your commission away if you don't start doing something, right? Coach them up. I got a C or a D. I got D's. Let's see. Share the analysis of the benefit of the commission structure alignment with business goals. I think that's the only one that doesn't sound like a laughable answer. You gonna go back to management and tell them they're wrong? I don't do that. C or D? D? Depends on the employee. I like it. If you think you can correct the employee. So what's the name of this one? Toward better business decisions. That's the last question. So do you go back to the manager and say it's going to make them feel bad and hurt their feelings? Or share the analysis of the benefits of a commission structure alignment with business goals? D. Please don't make me put C. Anyone change my mind? All right. We nailed that one, guys. 71%. Our businesses are not kicking butt right now. Data sources. We got time for this one. Management has requested that HR conduct a focus group to better understand the results of a recent compensation study. Which is the most important factor HR will want to consider when forming the focus groups? The focus group's facilitator should be well known to participants, preferably one of the managers. Participants should include only subject matter experts to ensure that time is well spent. Members should be a representative sample of the employee's population. Focus groups. Objectives should be kept general to encourage the group to move in its own direction. Focus groups. Members should be a representative sample of the employee's population. I like C. C or two subject matter experts. I don't know if we need all that, right? C. All right, C. Next question. Which approach describes a form of data gathering in which experts take turn presenting their assumptions and refining a composite answer, but never meet face-to-face? Trend analysis, managerial estimates, Delphi technique, nominal group technique. But the Delphi was not right last week, and I think it was Jason that maybe talked me out of that one. It was not right last week, so it's probably right this week, right? Trend analysis. The approach describes the form of data gathering in which experts take turn presenting their assumptions to refine a composite answer, but never meet face-to-face. It's not A, right? So I see C. Oh, Delphi, look at that. What data gathering method requires a face-to-face meeting? Nominal group technique, regression analysis, skip that one, trend and ratio analysis. Face-to-face. Anybody? Anyone? No clue. Nominal group technique, trend and ratio analysis. I don't know why you would need face-to-face for that one. I don't know. It feels like if I'm doing... it can't be Delphi, right? We already ruled that one out. I don't like trend and ratio analysis. I guess maybe that's just paper you can pass back and forth. Regression, I'm going to give it a whirl. Oh, damn it. Sorry. During an accident investigation, the HR manager determined that the injured employee could not read the safety data sheets. The manager reviews the company's training database and discovers that 10% to 15% of the current employees possess poor reading comprehension and cannot read the lockout tagout procedures for the machinery or the SDS or for hazardous chemicals. Upon further investigation, the HR manager learns that these employees asked coworkers for assistance with the lockout tagout and MSDS. Fortunately, minor injuries involving chemical burns and skin abrasions. Fortunately, the company has not had a major catastrophe or injury or death related to these areas. Although the review of historic data on employee injury rates indicates a high percentage of minor injuries involving chemical burns and skin abrasions. These injuries have resulted in higher than average experience modification rate that has adversely impacted the company's workers' compensation insurance premiums. The HR manager decides to develop a reading literacy program to provide coaching and tutoring to raise the reading and comprehension levels for all employees. Solicited a local educational institution to develop these reading courses. Which criteria should the HR manager use to justify the proposed reading improvement program? A comparison of on-job injury rates for employees whose reading levels are below the national average to the rates of employees that are above the national average. Comparison of the cost per accident rate for employees whose reading levels are below the national average to the rate of employees at or above the national average. Comparison of the average age of employees whose reading levels are below the national average to those age of employees or above the national average. Comparison of annual performance evaluation data for employees whose reading levels are below the national average or those at or above the national average. Anybody think my reading level was really below average in that one? I'm really sorry about that one. I'm just gonna. I kept thinking about that as I was reading. I was like, I suck at this one. And it's recorded. All right. Comparison of cost per accident rate for employees whose reading levels are below the national. How are you going to find out that? Are you going to do a reading test? I don't think you're going to do that, right? Injury rates for those whose reading levels are below the average. Comparison of cost per accident for employees who read below the average. Comparison of average age of employees whose reading levels are below the national average. Or annual performance evaluation data for employees who read. I don't know. I don't like this question. It's offended me. I'm going to go. Anybody got like B? I don't even know if those B's are for this time or last time. So somebody help me out here. Need a little love.
B.
Always B, sometimes A, never C. B this time. All right. No, I saw the correct. Thought I had it. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, comparison of on-job injury rates. I don't like any of those answers. And maybe that's one they throw out in your exam. They don't count that one. What additional benefits could the company gain from successful implementation of a reading program? The company could use this initiative to improve the employee's brand and corporate social responsibility. This could result in better communication between employees and management. With positive reactions to the training, the company could institute additional employee improvement programs. It could result in greater performance output per employee and higher levels of engagement. That's true. If they're loving it. All of the above. I like that. That's right. There's no bad answer on this one, except the one that I picked is wrong. So, anybody got a D? There we go. D. It could result in great. That's the only one that sounds good. It's really better than the others. The most correct answer. Sounds like they need a GED program or something, though. And I should be taking it. The company can use this initiative to improve the employee's brand or corporate social responsibility. Come on. After consideration and budget approval from the CEO and CFO, what is the first step the HR manager should take to introduce the reading program to company employees? Yeah, you're going to send a bunch of people that can't read very well an email? Send an email to all supervisors requesting that their employees plan to attend the company reading improvement program. All right, went to the supervisor. From a small pilot group of employees, including employees with a reading level below the national average, test the program. Post an announcement in the break room that a reading improvement program is available to any employee that cannot read. Send an email to all employees announcing that a reading improvement program is available for any employee who cannot read.
This is horrible, those last two answers.
I couldn't even read them. Form a pilot group of employees, including employees with a reading level below average, to test the program. I don't know. Maybe you get the email to the supervisors, and then they isolate the ones that can't read and single them out, and they get in trouble for that. Come on, I don't like any of them. I don't know. Hooked on phonics is not one of the choices. Anybody got? Oh, I got some B's with me. Pilot groups. Liking the pilot groups. How should the HR manager evaluate the effectiveness of the program? Well, maybe start with emails being read instead of just deleted. Ask the participants if they are enjoying the program, if they are improving their reading skills. Ask colleagues if the employees in the program are still asking as many questions about the instructions. That's good. Track the quarterly accident trends to see if they have decreased since the program begun. I like that. Ask managers for feedback as to whether the employees' morale has improved. Yeah. Some people like C.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the problem why they were tracking it, why they're trying to figure it out.
Tie back.
C. All right, nice job. Well, we made it through that one. Another 57, finished strong. You know, you guys did really good, though. I mean, I know you guys, you have a lot going on in your life, and to take the time to study for a test like this in the middle of a pandemic, it's very, very commendable. I do want to take a few minutes to make sure I thank John for his time today. I wanted to throw out a couple things that I heard this week from some folks that took the exam, that I know that took the exam and didn't have an awesome time at it. So if you're taking the exam, which I think everybody in the state of Florida right now is taking the exam at home. I don't think there's any in-person exams right now, right? Get your room cleaned out. I heard it takes about an hour to prepare yourself for your room because they want to inspect your room and then the technical difficulties and all that kind of stuff. Be prepared. Test your systems. I did hear that all the stuff on your walls, like around my office, would have to come down if I was taking it in here. So good luck with that. If you guys are taking the test, good luck. Remember, HR Florida is giving away some scholarships. It's going to be a reimbursement of $500 for your studying. So if you pass, when you pass the exam in this window, it's going to end sometime at the end of August. I think they pushed them towards the end of August because they canceled some in-person ones. They want you in an empty room, yes. They want nothing on the walls, nothing on the shelves, nothing on your desk. They ask you to move your camera around the room to show you. You got to close the door. You're the only one in the room. I don't know if they let you go to the bathroom or not, but from what I understand, which is different than when you go to the testing center, if you finish section A or part A, you can't go back to part A once you're in part B. And I think that's got to do something with the proctoring. So be careful of that. Ask those questions. No bathroom breaks, somebody else put. That's what I heard also. 4-hour test, no bathroom breaks. The biggest thing I can tell you is, because I was telling some people, if you don't know the answer, don't mark it, flag it, and come back to it. But you can't come back to it if you go into section B, into the next section. You can go back all the way back in that section to the first one or the second one and correct yourself, but not back into A, even if you have time left. Remember that. That's different than the exam in person. You can go back and take any one you want. Ask that question before you take it, if you're taking it in the next couple weeks. Let's see. I just know that no waiver if you take a bathroom break. No water. All right, I see what you're saying. I just don't know. I mean, they check all your pockets. I mean, it's pretty intense for somebody checking you over the phone. I mean, when I took my test, they wand you down. So I imagine it's got to be pretty intense. If they're wanding you and you lock everything in a closet, in a locker, and you go into the room, I didn't get up for 4 hours. So just concentrate, think about that. I just want to make sure I pass that information along. I want to make sure I thank John and HR Florida for their support of this program. We're going to have these recordings. They're going to be on the internet so that people can go back and rewatch them. We'll do that in our next session, so we'll build a library that you can go back. I just want to make sure that you guys know that HR Florida is there to support you in your local chapters. And I'll give it a minute to John. I'd like to pass it on to John. We're also on the conference team. Him and I are on the conference team. Well, he is because he's executive counsel, but I'm part of the conference team for the certification programs and things like that. But if you want to give a little heads up on some of the latest updates on HR Florida's conference at the end of August.
Well, at this point in time, for those of you attending on site, it's still on, and we plan on having a very good conference. No hold back as far as materials are concerned. Proper social distancing and safety protocols are going to be in place. The Gaylord is waiting for us with bated breath, and we're hoping that we'll be able to throw a big show like we normally do. For those of you who can't attend on site and are doing the online version, I can tell you personally, as the treasurer, we spent a lot of resources in putting this platform together to make sure that the online event is pretty much going to be identical to the on-site as far as curriculum. In fact, to be candid, the online version is going to give you access post 90 days to all of the curriculum. And we are actually selling as an add-on to the on-site for, I think it's $99 if you do it while you're there, the online access as well, because you'll be able to go through all of those programs and get credits for that accordingly for recertification. So we're going to basically throw a big show. We've been planning, I'll be honest with you, seems like since before last year when I was the registrar role. So I hope to see some of you, and if you can't attend personally, consider the online version.
140 credits or something like that. If you don't even go, you can get that.
It's an obscene amount. The curriculum, or if you will, is still being put together because we're confirming the some of the speakers are at last minute having issues, so we're getting substitutes. But we don't anticipate a problem with the curriculum. It's going to be very robust, like it always is.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited. You know, I go every year. You get a chance to be a part of it, and you guys do such a great job putting it on first class. If you're looking to get involved, I know that we are taking applications for HR Florida for people that want to get involved in some of the core leadership areas and things like that. HD sent out that notice today. So ask your chapter president, or if you're the chapter president and you want to get involved, I highly recommend it as a former local chapter president for a few years. But it's really taking your education and your skills to the next level, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. You know, we have next week. So next week I've got Chad Sorensen. He's the president-elect of HR Florida. He's going to close us out with our last class. This guy's got jokes for days, you know, so I'm hoping he brings some good ones next week and makes fun of my reading and things of that nature. So I enjoy this, guys. I really do. I'm excited to see as many of you guys that are on here week after week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys with your SHRM-CP or CP on LinkedIn or on Facebook or wherever you put it, and just bragging about it. If you do, remember, if you pass or when you pass, you send your information to your chapter certification director or your president, and they're going to send that to me in HR Florida, and I'm going to put your name in the hat. So every name in the hat has a chance to win. I think I've got 2 that we're going to give away, but I know we have 1 for sure. I paid for my own certification this year, micro certification. So the money that was budgeted for me, I talked John into putting it into honorarium. So it is a good opportunity. So I look forward to seeing you guys. If you're taking a test, anybody on here taking a test coming up before I see you guys again, before the 5th? Anybody? No, I don't see any comments coming there. But if you are, God bless you. I'll be thinking about you. And congratulations for taking the next step. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot for everybody.
Good luck, y'all.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
My cell phone?
I just got off.
Yeah, who's
Yeah, I kind of figured it out.